running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
I'm awesome. I wanted to chime in. It's not so much about airbags, but it is kind of pertinent to the auto industry. I don't know if you've heard, and if not, I'll send you the link, that someone with a satellite took a picture of this place in Mexico, and it was stockpiled aluminum. I don't know if you've heard it, because it just kind of broke yesterday. Millions of tons of aluminum was being backdoored from China through Mexico, because China, obviously one of the biggest importers we have, and they break every WTO and
they break every rule in the book, David.
They break every rule, and then they make up rules to break in the book. But they didn't want to pay that tax.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. The tire industry as well.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't want to bring it right into the U.S. So a bunch of Chinese billionaires got with a bunch of Mexican billionaires, and they figured out a way to backdoor it through Mexico because there's no tariff because of NAFTA. And I know MX is really hot on this, and he's absolutely right. This stockpile is hundreds of millions of tons. They actually saw it. It looks like a city of aluminum stacked 4 stories high with a satellite. That's how they found it. And so they're closing the door. And it's pertinent because, Ford their Ford trucks are made out of aluminum now.
Absolutely.
Just about every engine block is made out of aluminum. Just about every wheel is made out of aluminum. There's so much aluminum now in the auto industry and the trucking industry. So I thought you'd. I'll send you that link.
I wish you would.
It's absolutely amazing how much aluminum is being backdoored in through Mexico.
Aluminum and ceramics are exactly what the car world is coming to. And I'm going to tell you something else. If I was a foreign country that wanted to take advantage of the United States, I'd ship through Canada or Mexico every time because of NAFTA.
It's free.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, we took a big hit when that happened. Trust me.
You ain't kidding. Hey, everyone made fun of Ross Perot, right? But he was absolutely right.
Absolutely,
he nailed it.
You have a good one, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll send you that link. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Bye. And let's talk to Earl real quick on line 1. Earl, what's up?
Hey, how you been, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Any better? I couldn't stand it. Listen,
I understand.
I have friends of mine that own a Subaru, and if you wouldn't mind repeating it, because I think it's a 2016 they have. And also, let me ask you, George, in all honesty, do you think we've made so many of the cars so technically challenging? Is it really worth it? Are we saving that much on fuel that they've done this? I mean, we've got brake sensors you got to worry about getting oil on them. I mean, to what point does it just become let's put a dealer incentive to have you go to his particular dealership?
Earl, I got to tell you, the number one thing...
I'm going to hang up, okay, brother?
All right, man. All right, good enough. Earl, the number one thing is they want high tech to make fuel economy and emissions better, and it will. But their big goal, Earl, is to keep you out from under the hood, which they've accomplished over the last 3 or 4 years, and now they're trying to keep me out from under the hood. They want you to have to go back to the dealer and not do anything but. That's just, it's not fair. That Subaru thing is a 2017, and let me see what it says here. I got to tell you. The loose bolts. Somebody at the factory. So depending on when that 2016 was made, it could be affected. They got to take your VIN in and get it checked. They have loose bolts that affect steering and handling, and that causes crashes. So tell your friends, Earl, get it in there and get it cooked up.
This will be the last cruise night that we have pictures that we're taking of all the cars that show up. And in October, we will have the calendars. Now, October is always an iffy time. So if it rains, in the bottom where you register by City Hall, just go in the basement and we have the calendars for sale. Guys all want their calendars.
Oh, absolutely.
So the cars that came out, we've been trying to get almost everyone that comes out there, but we get like about 99% of them in the calendar. So it's pretty good.
That's always a good cruise night.
Yeah.
That's all of 119th Street, and it's a rockin' cruise night.
Oh yeah.
I've actually ridden my Carguy scooter up and down 119th Street.
I know.
Almost got arrested by a whiting copper. He said I was speeding. That's impossible. That's impossible.
Yeah. We have 2 cruise nights every year. One of them is in July. We'll have the Hollywood Cars, which we rent from Volo, Illinois, and then in August we'll have our Elvis performers. So we had the Elvis performer. He's from Detroit. Excellent. So we had, and he was this year on our new plaza.
And there's plenty of places up and down 119th Street
to
that have a hamburger, a hot dog, a beer, a pizza.
Exactly.
My goodness, what a great place.
Yeah, it is.
Center Lounge, some of the best food in the area.
Exactly. Yeah, and so that's the thing. We have a variety of different of foods. We've got a new place that opened up, a couple of new places, and it's just whatever you think of, we've got it there. So it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, Mayor Joe over there, he's just got a, I don't know, he must be easy to work for because he loves to have a party. I'm
going to tell you something. That's why I'm still working. The guy's fantastic. He always has new ideas, and he comes up with something. He spends a lot of time on weekends. Him and his wife, they'll go to different cities and stuff. He gets an idea here, an idea there, and he puts them together, brings them in there, and it's always a winner. So it's a lot of fun working.
Oh, the cruise nights are outstanding.
Yeah.
And plus, you have the the speakers on top of the buildings.
Speakers. That was a project that I started back. I don't know. We've been doing cruise nights for this is my 12th year, and it was maybe about 10, maybe 11 years that we've had all the rooftop speakers working. So we got from the whole thing going, and we played a 50s, 60s music. It's a lot of fun.
I got to tell you that the one night I went to the cruise night. The WJOB gang was at the ball game. It was WJOB night at Oilman Stadium there, and they were all there. It was before the game, and they're sitting around having a soda or two and a hot dog. And when I pulled up by my scooter, you handed me the mic and said, "Here, say hello to Whiting." So I, of course, being the natural card that I am, I started having some fun. The guy's sitting there having a hot dog. One of the, I think it was Rick Kubik, turns to Gino and goes, "That's George." You could hear me all the way at the stadium.
Exactly.
The speakers are on top of the buildings. The whole town of Whiting can hear this cruise night. It's just great.
Yeah.
And all the restaurants are just jammed.
They are jammed, and
stores are jammed. Everybody's. It's just a great time.
Oh, sure.
It makes for big business for the gang. I mean, they do a great job on a Wednesday night. How perfect is that?
Yeah. Our cruise nights have, when we started till today, it's always the third Wednesday of every month. We start in May, and when I first started, we only had 4. Then we added in 2 more to keep up with everyone else. So now it goes from May into October. So it's
unbelievable. These guys, and I got to tell you, I've been there when I wanted to go in the Sunrise to sit down and have dinner. And for T-Rex and I, we had to fight our way in there, for God's sake. It was so crowded. The whole town is just having a ball. Not just the whole town. I saw people there from Lansing, where I'm born and raised, 65 years, which I just passed up by the by. And I saw people I hadn't seen in 20 years from Lansing.
Yeah. At
that cruise night.
Yeah.
Enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Shopping and cruising their cars if they had them or whatever it was. It was just it's a natural gathering that draws a lot of people, Norm.
It sure does.
It's just a great thing.
And it's a lot of fun. You know, people say, they don't understand all the work that you put into it, but I tell you, when you see the crowd, that's your big payoff.
Oh, absolutely. Like Pierogi Fest. I did a live broadcast for JOB from Pierogi Fest. Jeez, oh, Pete. You can't, the sea of people, it's a sea.
I know.
They get 250,000 people in a town of 5,000.
Yeah.
Hello? What's that? What's the swelling factor there?
I know. People, you tell them and they say, where? They say up and down 119th Street. So we took pictures one year, sent them out to people and made believers out of them.
Well, you're not going to drive on that street that day.
No.
There's no way you could get through. What's up, Leon?
Hey, Big George, I'm always learning from you, passing it on to my students down there in Lowell.
Absolutely. That's a great program you have down there, my friend.
Thank you. It's always good to keep in touch. A couple automotive things going on. most importantly, next Friday, the South Shore Clean Cities are having their electric drive week open house at the NERPC building down by Bass Pro.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna have 5 or 6 different electric cars there, so you can get over all your fears and come check out the electric cars and drive them around the lot and make sure they won't electrocute you or light on fire or anything. So they're going to have a Tesla down there and the BMW i8 and the Chevy Bolt and the Nissan Leaf and everything all there to be checked out. So that's something I'm going to take my students to on Friday.
Oh,
so
that's
that would
cool.
be something
That's
for them
cool.
to check out. And then here in St. John today, the First Baptist Church is having a little car show for a charity event there. And then, of course, the Regional Streeters is having their show in Crown Point.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so that's the big finale of the year there at the Sportsman Center off of 93rd and Broadway. And then here in St. John at the First Baptist on 93rd by the Clark Middle School, they're having their show. And, of course, tomorrow Blue Top's got Nick Danger and Jerry Clemens rocking out at the Blue Top. So there's big culmination this weekend of hot rod events for us.
You got to love it. You got to love it.
Right?
Let's all get out and enjoy.
We got to, definitely.
Leon, thanks for calling, buddy.
All right, George, we'll be in touch, my friend.
Yes, you will. Thank you. Bye-bye.